What up, my geeks? Jeffrey Powers here from Geekazine, and today we're going to be taking a look at part 2 of a 5-part series, of course, mastering the clean tone with the Toneforge Jason Richardson plugin. This is a plugin that you can use to when you're recording and you bring the track into your DAW or maybe just a track recording software to kind of clean up the tone, maybe add the crunch, maybe add a little bit of brightness or whatever. It can also be used for, if you're playing out live or if you're in practice or anything like that. You can just kind of have it there, just play around with it. There's many different uses. Now, in part 1, we talked about how you can install it, where you can install it, Mac or PC, multiple software. As we go through this 5-part series, I'm going to be putting it into different pieces of software so you can see how easy it is to edit. Just basically, once you install it, if you've pointed to the VST folder, then it will find it fairly easily. Today we're using SoundForge Pro, which I'm going to be doing a review on the software a little bit later, but this is a great way that SoundForge Pro is meant for mastering specific tracks. What we're going to do is we're going to master this specific track that we've got here. Now, this is the page here. If you want to get there, just go over to geekazine.com/Toneforge, geekazine.com/Toneforge. Of course, that helps me. We have a little partnership here, so every time you go to geekazine.com/Toneforge, it'll register that you've seen this video. Good friend of mine, went to high school with him, Jody Peterson. He's been doing these ideas on YouTube, and so this is his channel. It's basically Riff a Day. You can look up Jody Peterson, but Riff a Day is his channel there, so you can look it up there. And he's got some great ideas. Of course, he's also getting into a lot of songwriting, working with a lot of Wisconsin songwriters. So he'll be putting up some other ideas there as well. But he sent me this idea. It's 1297, which is a pretty fun little riff. It goes a little something like this. Now, he's playing on a Martin guitar, and he's playing straight into the camera microphone, which I do believe is a cell phone. So, as you can hear, it's got some nice tones to it. He's got some room noise in there, and it's kind of bright, but we want to kind of bring that in and kind of clean it up a little bit. So, what we're going to do is I'm going to switch over to SoundForge Pro, which is by Magix. And great little program for working on your mastering, bring in clips, clean them up a little bit, change the volume and all that stuff. We're going to go into the plugin chain, which is down. Whoops, my face is in the way. Right there, we're going to go into the plugin chain. We're going to say add plugin, and we're going to go down to the VST2, and there it is, Toneforge Jason Richardson. Hit the settings, and right now it shows as a rhythm. So if I was to play this song, we get a crunchy sound to it. As you can hear, which is nice, and you can definitely do that. But we're going for the clean tone, so we're going to switch it over. Remember, we have 3 tones on here through the pedal. You have the clean tone, the rhythm tone, and the lead tone. And we're going to go to the clean tone, which of course brings us the clean head, which is totally different than. And once again, geekazine.com/Toneforge to get this plugin. So let's go from here. Now, basically what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at and hear some of the sounds here. Now, I like a little bit brighter. I like that presence to be there to really be felt in any type of sound. So I might just boost up the high end a little bit, but I still want to have that nice low end, especially when he's hitting those lower notes. The do 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 do, to get that kind of bass rhythm feel to do that. So first of all, we're going to take a look at the head here really quick. We've got 6 buttons here. We've got the gate up here, which I'm going to turn up and down, which will gate the sound. We'll probably put a little bit of gate on there. We've got the input, which is right here. We've got the output, which is on the other side. Then we have a low end, we have a clean end, and a high end on this dial area. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to kind of clean up this sound, maybe take a little bit of the ambient sound out of it. So a little bit of background gate we'll turn up here, and we'll start this. And just to give you an idea of how it sounds, I'm going to turn off the tone. We haven't done too much to it, so I'm going to turn off the tone now. You can hear the flatness. Now you're hearing a little bit more of the brightness. Flatness. A little bit of brightness. This is it on. So basically, what we have here is we have a nice tone, but I want to clean it up a little bit. So I'm going to throw in the gate a little bit more. Now, of course, if I go too much, then you can't hear anything. Now, keep in mind, this is just on the low ends. It's going to turn it down to nothing. It's not going to adjust any if there's any types of sounds, ambient sounds, while he's playing. There's not much you can do on that, but at least we'll have a certain point where it kind of squelches or closes up there. So, like I said, I want to throw a little bit of low end on here, so I'm going to throw that up. And there's three ways you can do this. Change these dials. You can just hold down the mouse and go up and down. You can double click on it and then enter a value yourself. So we want 75. But if you really want to fine tune it, you hold the shift button down, and it will be more of a fine-tuned number up and down. Now we've got a nice low end on this now. As you can hear, I'm going to put a little bit of high end on it, but I want to do this shimmer, this clean. And we're going to do it about 78. Now you can hear that. Now I'm going to show you the difference back to nothing. This is the flat tone. This adds a little bit of brightness to it. All right. We're going to move over to the cabinet. Two different cabinets, three different ways, and of course, multiple microphone options. You have the JST 4x12 cab, you have the PRS 4x12 cab, or you can say impulse response, which basically gets rid of the cabs, and you can kind of adjust the sound from there through this little dial right here. I'm going to let you listen to all three of them. We're going to use the condenser mic on these, and then I'm going to come back and look at the mics individually. So we're going to hit the play button here. And this is off the JST cab. This is the PRS cab, so it's a little bit more flat, a little bit more quiet. And then we're going to go to the impulse. Now the impulse is really, really bright. We might want to turn down that brightness a little bit, because you hear that high-end hiss. So we can bring it down. That's really not going to play too well in what I want, so I'm going to switch over. I like the JST cab. It's got a full body to it. And the condenser mic has really got that full range, as opposed to a 421. It's a little bit more muffled. We have the 57, and this is the 57 on axis, which means that it's pointed at the speaker directly. And then you have the off axis, which is not in the pattern, trying to capture the side of the microphone rather than the direct center of the microphone. So that gets a little bit more of a muffled sound. But, you know, condenser, it's just got this awesome sound to it. Just by those simple little ideas, we've brightened up that acoustic guitar sound and something that you could probably put into a track or use live with your acoustic guitar. So next thing we'll do is we'll check on the effects. You got three effects here, and I'm really enjoying this lo-fi when I'm using it on an acoustic guitar. You get the delay and you get the reverb. It makes sense. This one gives you more of a low end or in a distortion, which is really cool. It's meant for if you detune and you want to get that crunch tune. But what I really like is this gives it a more, right now it's giving me kind of a feel of a telephone or an AM radio type sound. So, and of course, as I'm adjusting it, I can get a little bit more distortion. And then, of course, as I bring up the range, I can, as you can hear, it's bringing back that brightness. Now, so you hear the low end here. Turn it on. The low end's kind of gone. So I would use this more on the on a type of, let's see, kind of a song that doesn't really push on the low end, maybe like a light folky type sound. I would definitely use that there, but it's a nice little sound. But I still prefer this full sound right here. So yeah, we'll throw a little bit of delay on here, and we'll change the max to about 5. We'll change the feedback to about 8. We want a better width, like 75. We got the full tone up here. And then the time, we have it at 200. We could go farther, but then it's starting to step on itself. So we'll bring it back down. Let's see. I kind of like, well, we'll do 175. And it's got a little slap back delay. And really nice to that. And then, of course, we can do some reverb here. We don't want too much reverb. We want enough to kind of give you a little bit of a sound here. And we'll change the mix. There's down to 0, and now a full mix. So we'll get about, oops, we'll get to about 15, let's say. And we'll change the pre-delay down there. Now we've got a really nice bright sound with a little bit of kickback here, like it's in a club or a live event type situation. So I kind of like that sound. It's really digging for it. Of course, I'm hearing it in my headphones. I'm not hearing it through monitors, so it might not sound as great for you. But keep in mind, when if you're doing in a mastering situation, you'd have monitors in front of you poised at the right spot, so you can really hear the little nuances of this program and change it. Now, I really like the Parametric EQ, because it's set in 2 types of dials. You have your main dial, which just basically gives you the range that you want it to be in to boost up and down, and then of course the boost. Now, if you were looking at a waveform like a EQ waveform, and we had a flat line, we pushed up to 10K. The 10K would have like a little bump like that. So just to put it into perspective. What if we wanted to put a little bit more treble on here? Let's say in the 7,000. Now this, right there at the 4, this gives it a really bright sound. And I'm kind of digging this. But the bass end, I want to, I don't know, maybe we'll bring it up all the way. I like to do this. I like to do our extremes one way, and then we'll do the extremes the other way to hear how it sounds. So here's one way. This gives it a little bit more body. We'd be at the 100. We'll go to 200. We've got some good body there. And we'll go to 6. Now it makes me want to go back to this effects and kind of knock down this mix down to 7, and maybe the delay to 3. There we go. So it's not overpowering. We got a good sound here. Let's go back to the original. You can hear the flatness of the original. Let's go back. Got some good brightness in here. Might have a little bit too much brightness, because you might hear that slight hiss on the top end. So we'll definitely bring this back to 2. Now a little bit less of that hiss. Sound, some late 80s acoustic stuff. More Than Words from Extreme is one that's coming across my thought right now. I believe Jody's just playing right into the phone microphone, so it's got a really good tone to it to begin with, but we've definitely brightened it up a little bit, adding a little bit more of the high end and giving it the effects that we want. So if we were to actually put this into a full mix, then we could easily give it more body, more sound, and go from there. So, but that's the clean tone, and that's just basic adjustments. If you want to get this app, you go geekazine.com/Toneforge, geekazine.com/Toneforge, and of course, Joey Sturgis Tones. They have a whole ton of different tones where you can get many different things. Only $99 for this plugin, and once again, it works across on PC, on Mac. So if you're doing some finalizing or some mastering or just some practicing, you should be good to go with this plugin. It's the next video. We're going to take a look definitely at the rhythm side of things to kind of give it, the crunchy rhythm sound that you might be looking for, whether it be something that is light and airy or dark and deep. Now, I didn't show you this last one, and this is a really cool one. This little pedal, which we'll talk about, and it's got a lot of great features, but you got to be in a certain situation to use this, and if you're in drop keys, this is perfect for you. So we've got the mastering the clean tone. Toneforge Jason Richardson, part 2 of 5. Check out Jason Richardson's albums. They're up on YouTube as well, and you'll get an idea of how the clean tones are really working for him. Thanks a lot for watching. My name is Jeffrey Powers, and we'll see you for part 3. Like I said, this has been Mastering the Clean Tone, Toneforge Jason Richardson, part 2 of 5. You guys geek out and take care.